Pastor Roy Gearhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. Well, it's been rainy, cold, and miserable outside this morning, so I thought I would bring us inside to a bright spot in our newly renovated youth room. And so we're going to continue here today our conversation about the book of Job. And I'm finding the book of Job inspiring on so many levels. Remember that the story of Job is about a man who has gone through incredible suffering in his life. It's really overwhelming suffering that when his friends came over, he described it this way. The depth of his pain was so bad that he not only wished that he could die, he wished that he had never been born. This is really a severe level of trauma, an ordeal that none of us wants to face. And yet any of us can face ordeals like this that leave us in a place where it can feel completely hopeless. And even though Job is restored with double blessing at the end of the book, when you're in the middle of calamity, when you are going through this kind of a season of suffering in your life, it can appear completely hopeless, like there is no end in sight, like there is nothing at all to kind of lift your spirits. And Job is looking for comfort as he's trying to get through this day by day. And all of us have the chance to become a source of comfort in someone else's life, in moments like this. Job has some friends who try to do that in his life. And initially, they do the right thing, and they offer him some real help and care, but then things kind of go sideways. In fact, the bulk of the book of Job is made up of kind of a debate that goes on between Job and his friends as they try to explain to him why he's going through all of the problems that he's going through. And in fact, they lay the blame on him. And so Job says to them in the 16th chapter, "You guys are miserable comforters. It's like you're no comfort at all." He tells them that their words are empty and that they are there with an attitude that he describes as they, wag their heads at him, kind of judgmental, looking down at him. Well, Job says, if I was in your shoes and you were in mine, he said, I would do a better job of having something kind, comforting to say to you, something to bring you relief. You and I need to take some lessons from this. When Job's friends first arrived, they really did the right thing. They sat down with him, and it says that they spent 7 days there without saying anything. They were just with him, present there. They saw his misery, and they responded to it with compassion, that they were there with him. And rather than trying to come up with something brilliant to say, they just demonstrated physically with their presence their real compassion and caring for him. And it's a great reminder to us that sometimes that is the very best that we can offer, that just being present matters, that we don't have to know what to say. We can in fact admit that we don't know what to say, but that we genuinely care and feel pain and sorrow with them. And Job's friends do a great job of that initially, but then they start trying to explain to Job why he's going through what he's going through. And this is the point at which many of us, like them, end up saying all the wrong things. There's so many times that I've heard people go to a funeral and say, I know just what you're going through. And those people have never been through what that person is going through. So their words are really empty and meaningless. And often it makes the first person feel diminished and depreciated. Like, you don't get what I'm going through. And so we should never say that kind of thing if we have not been through that same situation. And even if we have, we should be very careful and tempered in how we approach that. Then his friends go even further in trying to explain to him what's going on. And I've heard people try to tell somebody why God has taken their loved one. And oh my goodness, These often are not comforting. In fact, they are the exact opposite. Often they become an explanation that just makes us angry and hurt. And that's what Job's friends do to him. That's why he says, you guys are sitting here wagging your heads, looking down on me. I don't get it. You and I need to make sure that we keep clear in our motivation. We're not there with all the answers. We can't explain away somebody's hurt. We need to be careful not to diminish someone else's pain in any way, shape, or form. We need to just be there with total compassion, initiate action that would be genuinely helpful. Don't try to fix everything, and certainly don't try to explain it all away. Be a real friend of comfort. May God bless you today. And as you share the good news, may God make you a blessing wherever he takes you.